أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين نحمده ونشكره ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوكل عليه ونصلي ونسلم على حبيبه ونجيبه وخيرته في خلقه حافظ سره ومبلغ رسالاته بشير رحمته ونذير نغمته سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى آله الأطيبين المنتجبين الهداة المهديين المعصومين المكرمين سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أوصيكم عباد الله ونفسي بتقوى الله وطاعته. وقال عليه السلام العجب لغفلة الحساد عن سلامة الأجساد. I advise myself and all my brothers and sisters to having taqwa of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala and keeping the boundaries that Allah has set for us. Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam says that it's so surprising to see that the jealous person, the ones that are very jealous, they are not they are oblivious of the health of the body or the value of healthy body. They have translated this hadith two ways. One is that they are oblivious of their own, they're not paying attention to their own health. That is such a big blessing. And the other one is that they're not paying attention to others' health. So they're not jealous of that. That's another way of translating it. So you see somebody is jealous of others, usually wealth and other things that they have, but not their, for example, health. That's the second meaning is not the desirable meaning, even though some books have written that. The first meaning is the one that is more likely to be. Which means that because the reason we don't accept the second meaning is because, first of all, a jealous person might be healthy himself. You're not going to be jealous of others if you have something. When I have something myself, then looking at others and becoming jealous doesn't make sense. And also, it's not good for us to say that Imam alayhi salam is encouraging the jealous person to be jealous of others' health but not others' wealth, for example. That doesn't make sense either. So the meaning that we're getting is this, that a jealous person himself is going to ignore his own health. He's going to become sick. And we got other narrations, other riwayat, ahadith to back that up. A jealous is the one that when we say jealous, and perhaps the word envy would be the better word for it in English. Jealousy is a general thing and envy is a specific one. But what we are talking about here as hasad, al-hasad is when one does not want others to have something. It's not about wanting something. Because you make you make a wish for example, yourself and others. There's nothing wrong with it. You say that I hope that I would have this wealth, but you are happy for others to have that wealth as well. In fact, you may even do dua for everybody. You may even try to give the blessing to others too. Like some people set up a factory, a business, and along with that, they bring other people to work and they make money too. It's not just for himself. So that's very positive. That's very good. But the jealous sees something that he doesn't have and others have, and he wishes that they didn't have it and he had it. He doesn't want others to have it. And that's the bad thing about it. Wishing what others have is not a bad thing on its own. It's good for us to wish to have what others have if it's a good thing. As long as it doesn't turn to greed. Greed is a different matter. We have talked about greed before and we'll talk about greed today inshallah as well. But just wanting something good that others have, it makes you stronger, it makes you more motivated. You want to achieve something. You see the other person has memorized lots of Quran. Yesterday I met there is a sheikh that he knows the whole Quran by heart. So I was so jealous of him in that meaning. So I wish I could memorize the whole Quran by heart, because he memorized at the age of 10. It was when he was a young kid. They sent him to a special school, and there he memorized the whole Quran. So that's good to wish to have the ability to do something good. You see somebody has, mashallah, beautiful voice, like Brother Ryan has beautiful voice. So we want to have his voice is good. We strive, even though we fail, but it's good. We try. And the same thing with other good things that others have. Not that you wish he didn't have it. Not that you wish the other person lost his memory and you have a good memory. Now you can memorize Quran. No. You say, he has it, alhamdulillah, inshallah, I will have it as well. And then you get motivated, you try harder to achieve something. But the jealous person says, no, I don't want the others to have it. So jealousy is, in this meaning, is a disease. Is a disease. And I explained the disease, the health, different type of health. Most of us, we know just one type of health. And I'll tell you different types of health. And it's a disease that can be fatal. Jealousy can be fatal, can kill you. Most of the time when you ask somebody what's a fatal disease, they tell you cancer. Yes? But did you know that right now I'm standing here, cancer is number 5, 6 down the line, killing people. There are another few things up there that are killing people before cancer. Of course, the heart disease and vessels and stroke and all that, that's very important. But even more than that, one of the things that kills people is not COVID virus, is not flu, is that car parked there. So one of the things that kills people is actually, motor vehicle accident. So accidents kill people quite often. And of course, other things kill people. So cancer is not top of the list. But we all know cancer as a fatal disease. Many people have had cancer or have cancer and they live without any problem. They survive. Cancer goes away, no problem. It's not like we're not living in 20th century. It's 21st century. Lots of things have changed. But still, despite of that, we're still suffering from lots of other things being cause of death. Like we know right now, there are lots of people in this world that they are committing suicide. They have depression, they have mental health problems. They are dying because of something not physical at all. It's mainly in their soul, in their mood, in their psyche. So jealousy can cause anxiety, can cause depression. There are people in this world that are so jealous of others and they get anxious and they get depressed. It can be a stress factor. In medicine, one of the things that you can relate almost to anything is stress. When you go to read causes for different diseases, you read, for example, there is a section for gastrointestinal diseases, stomach problems and all that, including the cancer of that. And then you see the list, you get to stress. Stress is one of the causes. You go to the other section, is cardiovascular. You see about heart and all the things related to heart. You read and read, you see this is written, stress is a cause. And you go so on and so forth to other diseases, stress is everywhere. So causes stress, and stress could be a cause for both physical and mental diseases. There are riwayat, as we said, to back that up. Another hikmah of Nahj al-Balagha says, صحة الجسد من قلة الحسد. If you have less jealousy, your body is healthier. Or somewhere else that Imam alayhi salam is in Usul al-Kafi, I can't remember is it from which ma'asum is it? But it says, الحسد لا يجلب إلا مضرة وغيظا. يوهن قلبك ويمرض جسمك. Jealousy, the only thing that does, it just brings you um, disease or harms you, and it makes your heart weakened. Now, heart could be here physical heart, just the heart that we know as in anatomy, or heart here could mean your soul, means that it weakens your soul in achieving things that your soul can achieve. And because after that says what yumarrudu jismak, because it relates to body, to your body becomes sick, and it's like sickness. Yumarrid is like, it's like sickness. Maybe it's not really sick. When you look at it, everything looks in place, but it still has that sort of sickness in action. Because somebody who doesn't have, he's depressed, he doesn't have energy either. Even though he has energy, he eats and his body is burning energy, but does not give him energy because he's not going to use it. He just sits in one place. Or it says, La rahata lihasud. The jealous never calms down, never has calmness and tranquility, always tense. Now, of course, there is no value for any wealth without health. This might be one of my sayings. You can write it down somewhere. No value to any health without wealth, or the other way. No wealth is valuable without health. That's the one. Now, I would give you actually 4 types of health, and I don't think you've seen this anywhere else, because it's mine. So you usually say, when you say somebody's health, we know physical health and we know mental health. That's the usual thing in books. That's all what we read, isn't it? Somebody says that you've got, for example, physical health problem, go to this doctor, and you've got mental health problem, go to the other doctor. But there are other things. So jealousy is the soul's disease. So we've got soul's health. Your soul, your ruh, needs health as well. Jealousy is part of that. Because somebody who is jealous at the level of what we say a personality, not at the level of disease that we said, at the level of personalities, because our personalities does not make us dysfunctional. You know, disease, the mental health problem makes us dysfunctional. Like somebody, you want to see if their sickness is strong enough, you ask about the basic things that are related to enjoying life, if they are functional or not. Can you go to work? Can you concentrate? Can you read a book? Can you watch TV? Can you enjoy life? Can you have fun? Can you have relationship? All of that is part of the health, as we know, and makes, if you are not doing any of those, is affecting your mental health, is affecting that, we say you're not functional. But a jealous person might be totally functional, still goes to work, is still doing lots of other things, but still with that jealousy has a disease in his soul. Or lying. Lying is in the people, somebody lies, once in the blue moon because he got scared, he got worried, he was greedy, for whatever the reason was, he lied. That's different. But some people lie as but they call them pathological liars. They just lie all the time. This is a disease of soul. Now there is a 4th version of disease as well, which is a very dangerous disease. Very, very dangerous disease. Is more dangerous than the other ones, and perhaps you have not paid attention to it. And that is disease of belief, disease of religion. And that's in our riwayat, it's not, I'm not making it up for myself. It's all in the riwayat. So you do, one of the things that actually you do dua for is not to have a religion that is diseased. You want sihha in your body, of course, but you want sihha in your religion as well. Sihhat ad-din. Salamat ad-din is in our dua. That you want salamat ad-din. Well, what does that mean? One can be sick religiously, belief-wise, And belief-wise, if you are sick, in fact, is very, very, very dangerous. Look around you, look at the news, look at Daesh, look at Al-Qaeda, look at the Christian that are killing people, killed people for many, many years in other places. Look at the fanatic, the Zionists that because of their belief are killing others. Lots of around the world, you look around, you see lots of people are very, very dangerous people because of their belief. Look at the racism. Look at the KK in the past that, the racist people were against the black people who killed lots of black people just because of the colorless skin. This is a disease of their belief. They weren't mentally ill. If they went to a psychiatrist, the psychiatrist would have said, no, this guy is not sick. He's okay. No prescription, nothing, go home. If you went to, physical test and checking everything, all good. So they're not physically, mentally sick. But they have a belief, even they may not be, some of them may be very good people with their own people. Like they help others, they help in their own, like these KK people, when they were in their own community, many of them were good people. They helped others, they were generous, they weren't jealous of anybody, they didn't lie, nothing. But when it came to their belief, they were sick. So the sickness of religion, the sickness of deen is the worst one, because you kill everybody, you destroy everything. And look around, there's so many people that because of their belief, either they destroyed others or destroyed themselves, or both. And they're destroying the whole world. So many people, in Africa, one of the problems that was in certain countries, and still there is there, they have these superstitious beliefs. So they believe in some sort of evil witchcraft, something in people. You know how many children got killed because of that? They killed children because of that. This old woman looks at a kid and says, this kid has evil in her or in him. And they kill the poor kid. This is happening. It's a very, very dangerous disease. And it's important to make sure that we don't have anything that destroys our health. As we said, jealousy is one of them. Now, jealousy can cause lots of sins. A jealous person, because of his jealousy, he starts backbiting. He starts lying because of that. He starts harming others because of jealousy. Lots of people, if you read in the history, there were lots of countries that they attack each other, or the tribe they attack another, or the woman who killed the husband, or all of these things, or vice versa, because of jealousy. Due to jealousy, a country attacked another one. And this guy went, and it was a king of one country, saw a beautiful wife with the other king. He said, no, I want to go and capture that country, just because he is jealous of the guy's wife, or the guy's money, or wealth, or something like that. So you can definitely do that. It can end with accusation. You can accuse others wrongly. You can do, tuhma, ittiham, whatever you call it. And also, jealousy can lead to shirk. This is interesting. You can become a polytheist. You can commit the biggest sin. The biggest sin is shirk, isn't it? So you can commit that, na'udhu billah, because of jealousy. Why? Because a jealous person doubts Allah's justice. So you see the other person has the beautiful car and you don't. And then you say, oh Allah, this is not just, this is not fair. So you have given him, you have not given me. So you're not fair. Na'udhu billah, you accuse Allah of not being just. Or you may have what we say, bad thoughts about Allah bringing your rizq. Allah is raziq. Allah, and you have bad thoughts about Allah. You have su'ud dhan about Allah, tabarak ta'ala, bad thoughts about Allah. That you say that, oh, Allah is basically not capable of giving me that. You consider your God in your brain becomes weak, becomes unjust, and that's shirk, simple shirk. So jealousy can be the cause of lots of problems. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. I would get the permission to continue with Nahj al-Balagha in the first khutbah, and because the second khutbah is going to be short, inshallah we just refer to one issue in the second khutbah. وقال عليه السلام لا, so this is from last week, so the other one. وقال عليه السلام الطامع في وثاق الظل. So this is because it's related to this topic. I thought we'd continue with the same thing. A person that is greedy, the greedy person is a slave of humility, becomes the slave of humility. What does that mean? Means that he is, because of his greed, he is going to make himself a slave for others, and just because he has to gain something, he brings himself down. A greedy person brings himself down, destroys his own reputation. He would go up to the extent that he does everything to gain something. And we talked about this before, because there's another one similar to this that Imam alayhi salam says, "At-tama'u riqqum mu'abbad." It's an indefinite, eternal slavery. So you become a slave forever. Because we said, a slave you can buy, and that slave pay and buy the slave. Free the slave, that's it. Today is slave, tomorrow free. But a greedy person never becomes free, because always is a slave of his greed. And the opposite of that is a very big topic that we don't talk about too much today, but we just refer to that, is what we call al-qana'ah. So qana'ah is something that is in our text is being referred to it a lot. And that's a feeling of contentment. The feel that you are happy with what you got. You're happy with what Allah has given you. And that's a very important feeling. As long as we don't have that feeling, the degree of less qana'ah is more greed. And this balance there, if it's not maintained, people get destroyed. Imam alayhi salam somewhere else says, "Azza man qana'a wa dhalla man tama'a." Whoever is greedy becomes humiliated, and person who's got qana'ah and contentment, it comes up and becomes more, gets more status. Another place, Imam alayhi salam said, "عند غرول الأطماع والآمال تنخدع عقول الجهال وتختبر الباب الرجال." When somebody becomes, because of the greed and long wishes, it becomes too arrogant and gets tricked by those wishes, then the people who go in after that, they become actually unwise people, in a way that their brain does not deduce correctly. They don't have the right conclusion. They think, you'd be surprised, somebody becomes greedy. I mean, in the lower degree may happen to ourselves as well. So for example, you go somewhere and you see that they've written there that this is, for example, half price, and you just buy it. And you come home and somebody says, "So what did you buy?" I say, "I bought this, for example," whatever that was. And they say, "And what's the usage of this?" "I don't know." "Why did you buy it?" "I don't know. I just got excited. I looked at it, was half price. I just bought it." Or they buy things that they don't need. Some people buy things that they already have, 4 pairs of shoes there ready, and then they go and buy the 5th one because it was just buy one, get one free or something like that. So that's because at that point we did not think properly. So that is not using our brain properly, which is Imam alayhi salam referring. And also he says that the brain or the logic of people would get tested by this. When you are in a situation that would tempt you, that's when you get tested to see how wise you are. Another hikmah of Nahj al-Balagha, Imam alayhi salam says, "إن الطمع مورد غير مصدر وضامن غير وفي." That's very interesting. So Murad is when you basically you go to a spring of water, for example. You go somewhere that you want to take water. Think about it. You enter that, you come out without water, or you drink it. But so you drink it. Um, so the water is something that you drink it. You don't quench your thirst, and it's a damin is like a guarantor. So it's a guarantor that is not reliable, does not to stick to his promise. Greed is something that it gives you lots of hope, but when it comes to fulfilling his promise, he leaves you alone. Lots of things look different in the eyes of a greedy person. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلى الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله الحمد لله الذي يخلق ولم يخلق ويرزق ولا يرزق ويطعم ولا يطعم ويميت الأحياء ويحيي الموتى وهو حي لا يموت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وأمينك وصفيك وحبيبك وخيرتك من خلقك وحافظ سرك ومبلغ رسالاتك أفضل وأحسن وأجمل وأكمل وأزكى وأنمى وأطيب وأطهر وأسنى وأكثر ما صليت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت وسلمت على أحد من عبادك وأنبيائك ورسلك وصفوتك وأهل الكرامة عليك من خلقك. اللهم وصل على علي أمير المؤمنين ووصي رسول رب العالمين عبدك ووليك وأخي رسولك وحجتك على خلقك وآيتك الكبرى والنبأ العظيم. وصل على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. وصل على سبطي الرحمة وإمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي حججك على عبادك وأمنائك في بلادك صلاة كثيرة دائمة. أوصيكم عباد الله ونفسي بتقوى الله وطاعته. I advise myself and all my brothers and sisters to having taqwa of Allah and keeping the boundaries that Allah has set for us. The topic that I thought I'll refer to it in this khutbah shortly, don't have a lot of time, is the anniversary of destruction of Jannatul Baqi. As you know, Jannatul Baqi got destroyed twice. One was, I think, about 180 years ago, and one about like 120 years ago, something like that. So the numbers, you can check the dates, the exact date, but something about 100 years ago was the last time Jannat Baqi got destroyed in the hands of Al-Wahhabiyah, based on the fatwa they gave. The first time they destroyed it, they didn't have power. The Uthmanis, the Ottomans at the time, they had power. They beat the Wahhabis, and they actually rebuilt the shrines in Jannat Baqi. And the picture that we see, I'm not sure. I think it's from the second they rebuilt. I think it's from that time, and then another, I don't know, maybe 50 years, something like that. After that, when they got the power, the Saud family that you see now, Saud ibn Aziz is the guy. When they got the power, then they destroyed Jannat al-Baqi, the oldest, or one of the oldest graveyards of Muslims, the biggest graveyard of Muslims in Medina. And the place that, apart from the four Imams of Shia, alayhi salam, that they are buried there, Imam Sajjad, Imam Baqir, and Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, and which one did I miss? Imam Hassan alayhi salam, of course, firstly, Imam Hassan Mushtaba alayhi salam. So the four Imams that they're buried there. Apart from that, there were other historical places like the Bayt al-Ahsan of Fatima Zahra salamul alayha was there. Lots of other important people buried there, like Ibrahim, the son of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, or Safiya, the auntie of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who defended Muslims, fought like a man. Safiya, the story of Safiya is very interesting. And lots of other people, like, as I think is even Banin is buried there as well. So despite of that, they destroyed all the graveyards. Apart from the fact that they are, as we said, don't have the health of religion, that's something that they don't. Their belief is sick. Apart from that, like any other culture or religion, you have to respect certain things for the sake of others, because those places did not belong to them. It's true that they got the power, the country, but these places belong to all Muslims. They cannot decide to destroy an Islamic place. They say up to, this is what I heard from somebody who was in Saudi, and he was from Ahl Sunnah himself. He said more than 700 Islamic historical places have been destroyed by the Wahhabis. God knows how, everywhere, so I don't want to have time to talk about them everywhere. But definitely when you come to Janatul Baqi, is a disaster, is really a big calamity coming on Muslims, all Muslims. And as when it happened, other, not just Shia, even Ahl Sunnah complained about this, but unfortunately, up to today, we have not been able to do anything about it. Inshallah, we ask Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala to fix all the problems of Muslims. As we always say, Allahumma aslih kulla fasadan min umur al-muslimin. Anybody who is destroying and causing problem in the affairs of all Muslims, we ask Allah to fix them. If they're not fixable, remove them, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر اللهم أدخل على أهل القبور السرور اللهم أغن كل فقير اللهم أشبع كل جائع اللهم اكس كل عريان اللهم اقض دين كل مدين اللهم فرج عن كل مكروب اللهم رد كل غريب اللهم فك كل أسير اللهم أصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين اللهم اشف كل مريض اللهم سد فقرنا بغناك اللهم غير سوء حالنا بحسن حالك اللهم اقض عنا الدين وأغننا من الفقر إنك على كل شيء قدير وصل اللهم على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.